What is going on? So, a bit of controversy on stage 16 of the Vuelta. With 3k to go, everyone seems pretty safe knowing that if anything happens, the 3k rule applies. The pace of the peloton isn't full on yet, but you can see Primoz itching to get to the front, and at 2.7 he launches his attack and he's gone. Pascal Ackermann's seen here second wheel, eventually tagging along, but Primoz's attack here is so strong. I mean, they're scrambling to get across. Further up the climb, I still wasn't sure if they were going to make it across to him. I mean, he's putting down some power there to keep them away. I mean, those are pretty powerful sprinters. Less than 500 metres later from that attack, you've got Remco pulling up to the side of the road, gesturing that he's got a puncture. He's still riding the bike, and the tyres do not seem flat. They look pretty inflated to me. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. Meanwhile, you got Primoz continuing up the climb flat out. I think it was something like a 3 minute 30 effort, anaerobic effort. So yeah, not easy. And I think the reason you don't see Remco panicking is because he knew exactly what he was doing. I don't think it would have been pre-planned, but maybe he got stuck in the pack and he couldn't get through, or maybe he just didn't want to do the effort. But it's a bit suspicious that after Roglic goes, he decides he's got a flat tyre, and you can't see any sign of a flat tyre while he's on the bike. Who knows? It may have been legit, and he may have had a puncture. We're not really going to know, are we? But it just looks a little bit suspicious. Moving on to the crash, it looks like Roglic may have got away with minor injuries here, because at the time I thought he'd smashed his knee up. It looked pretty much like it, but then as you rewatch the footage and you see him getting up off the ground and getting on his bike, you can see that his knee isn't damaged at all, like his legs are fine. So I think what's happened is that he's crossed the line, obviously hurt shoulder, ribs, everything, and there's blood, and he's touched his knee and it's made it look worse. The camera zoomed in on it and you think a chunk's missing, but I think it's just coming from his arm and he's just touched it when he sat down. Obviously that 3 minute 30 flat out effort, I reckon he just lost his thinking. If you've ever done that kind of effort, especially if you've time trialed, there's sometimes when you just go lightheaded. You see it with track cyclists as well. You can see their arms sort of flailing around a little bit. They can't control some of their body movements to support them on the bike because they've gone so deep. So it could be that he just basically got too close, didn't he, to the last rider, and thought he could slide in there, didn't give enough room, and got tagged. Okay, and down he went. But we'll have to see what the injuries are tomorrow, what the team say. I think there's a good chance, as long as he's not really broken anything, that he's just going to carry on. His legs should be fine. But obviously it takes it out of you no matter what, so your body still has to use energy to recover.